Hi guys. Welcome to Business is the Chat. I am your host, Mulesh, and I'm actually nervous and excited at the same time, but um we're gonna kickstart our live stream with unpacking social entrepreneurship. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the reason why I started this initiative. I started this initiative because I wanted to learn about the business industry, learn about being an entrepreneur, and I thought it would be a great idea to invite people who are in the space so I can learn from them. And basically, for me, everyone that comes on to businesses that chat is a mentor to me because I get to learn a thing or two from them and take away what I want, and that's going to be beneficial to me. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce and welcome my guest speakers, and I would like them to give us an overview and a background of who they are and what do they do. So, let me introduce our first guest speaker. Charlie, are you ready?
Yes, you can hear
All
me.
right.
Mhm. Good morning, everybody. Charlie Leroux, the founder of the Digital Lab, which is a holding of ventures that I do. Some of the do include test to IT support. Uh, Also, we do travel like a agency. We transport, uh, and also events management. We manage events like events or whatever fund our uh, I think
Charlie,
brief over. Mhm.
you are breaking and you are not really clear.
Is it? See what's wrong? Like I've done everything that I could. Okay, let me. I don't me try
Okay,
and
in the meantime, while you're fixing it, let me put through gift.
Okay, thank you, Lebu. Thanks, Charlie. Yes, I'm Gift Mposula and coming from the banking industry, financial services. So I'm responsible for portfolio management for clients within our segment, which is 60, if you look at turnover, 60 to 150 million, to be specific. And primarily also, doing service as well as our turnover of, not turnover, but the lending side of the client, where if you're looking for working capital finance, commercial property finance, work, as well as credit in trade, you're also able to have an discussion with me, and I'm able to take you through what's required and build from there. So from an SME perspective, yeah, definitely playing a role to ensure that there's funding for individuals or businesses as they build their businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, gift. So, I'd like to find out from Charlie. Charlie, what was
Yes.
your inspiration behind starting your own business?
uh, you, you know what? I think the passion came from did try going like 9 to 5s and uh, I don't know. Like I think all the 9 to 5s, even though they were in a field that I had studied, I didn't feel that I was doing enough. So I think I had to do when I started doing my business, I had by wanting, you know, like even if like it's something that I'm passionate, I see my growth personally, and also I didn't want to leave, because also that when I have a family, there is something that my family, or whether it's my kid, whoever, like I give them a understand, because they are looking at us not such. So I was like, okay, let me try something different, and yeah.
All right, thank you, Charlie. So, Gifty, in your respective field, why did you decide to get into the banking financial industry?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a conscious decision that I said, no, this is where I want to go. I think, uh, you know, I got an opportunity to get into the space, and I took on that opportunity. So we know how it is when you out there in the job market looking for roles, whatever will then come your way, you take that and you make the most of it. So I was afforded an opportunity to be part of a digital pilot for our bank, and through that got experience to see digital migration from traditional way of doing banking in the branches to a branchless platform where most clients would do their banking through the digital side, online banking. So yeah, through that transition, I was able to get exposure to digital, get exposure to how you manage clients, which equip you even on a business level, or giving insight to entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs to say, these are the things you look out for to build a sustainable business and formalizing your business. So the inspiration came from the business side. Had a stint in entrepreneurship. I think we have spoken briefly on that, where I was part of a steelworks business, and that was also training ground to apply oneself in contributing to businesses, and also in the context of what we're speaking on now, social entrepreneurship.
Thank you so much. Um, so one last question. Um, I want to find out from you, what are the challenges that you face in your business?
um like in my line of business, especially, like, okay, currently involved in, it's the in black business that is most the most important challenge faced. You understand, there is a little bit scale when it comes, because we, like our individuals, we understand you of lack of trust when it comes to maybe coming to you and say, okay, here's you to do this for me, because they the lot of unscrupulous people, we understand that they've taken, oh no, I don't know whether I still
Yeah,
there.
you are. Yeah, you are lagging a bit. Yeah, you can continue.
Oh yeah, one of the problems challenges that we face for infrastructure is, yeah, it leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to IT, and you can say that there is a lot of digital migration in a lot of our internet structure, also a challenge to us. But as I was saying, that the worst is uh, in black business entrepreneurs, and if you are starting, lack of trust.
Yeah, Charlie H. Wawutla Khotli, you are not audible, so it's a challenge.
Even namanje.
Yeah, okay. We can kind of give it another uh, another chance maybe later on. Nah. You were able to be
Okay.
clear and state some of the stuff you've mentioned because I know you've got a lot to say. But anyway, let's give it over to Gift. Are you ready, Gift?
Yeah. The question being, Lebo, just
So I was talking about the inspiration behind why you doing what you do.
okay.
Oh, the
Inspiration.
challenges. My bad. No, my bad. But
Challenges,
sorry, the
right?
challenges.
Challenges. Yeah.
Sorry, sorry.
Okay. The challenges, I mean, dealing with different types of clients, and obviously you have to understand them and how they prefer things to be done. So it's really important. I mean, we're moving into the important, like looking at the essence of client centricity. So everything we do must be client centric. We must ensure that clients are happy. So they're not always, happy about certain things, but we find ways to do that. So that's one thing that probably comes up. Not being able to really fund businesses as much as we would like. Maybe there can be improvement in there, and uh, the regulations or the red tape that may be there, we can work on that. The compliance aspects that need to be fulfilled to do that seamlessly, so that funds can be afforded for emerging businesses, especially those in the small medium enterprise. I mean, in the past week we were able to see one of our social entrepreneurs in the community, Ecolabs Africa, which was able to have launch their first ICT center in Shawelo, Soweto. So we want to see more of that and really support such businesses that give back to the community. And also, Charlie, speaking on infrastructure development, we're able to see infrastructure in the tech space come to fruition, and that supports a quality education. So for me, it's been about entrepreneurship. Inspiration it's come from the entrepreneurial side, and also just having systems and processes in place which are important for a sustainable business.
Thank you so much.
Am I now
Finally,
audible?
hi,
Okay, we've just had Khomoto
hi,
join in. Hi, Khomoto.
Hi, Komoto, how are you?
Can you hear us? She just sent me a message now on the chat box saying that she's having connection problems and she can't hardly hear us. But it's
Okay, you can
fine.
proceed. Yeah.
Um yeah,
Mm.
hopefully she will come back. So, Charlie, wa re audio ya go betere?
Uh, I'm asking, hear me now?
Yeah, it's still lagging a bit, but anyway, so now I want us to start our discussion and unpack what social entrepreneurship is. Uh, so I've written what I think social entrepreneurship. I'm just gonna read it out to you guys, ne? So um so social entrepreneurship is a business model that strives to make a positive impact on social issues. These entrepreneurs develop and fund solutions that directly address social issues, exploring business opportunities that have a positive impact on the community. Individuals normally start their business for different reasons, because they want to be their own boss. They are passionate about business, or they want to just make lots of money and build an empire. And then through this whole mist of this thing, then emerged the social entrepreneurial thing. So I read an article somewhere, and I'm quoting one of the lines that I found very interesting. It said, "Where compassion and capitalism mix, we get social entrepreneurs." So I'd like my guest speakers to give me their own definition of what is social entrepreneurship and the understanding of it. So, um, Charlie, already? Oh, I know.
Okay,
Gift, you
happy to
have to take it
proceed.
away.
No problem. No, apologies. I think to the people that are joining us. Yeah, I think these are the stumbling blocks that we're having with this initiative. through Mosolute, and we're grateful for the platform as well for this. And yeah, I think as we go along, the tech aspects will out and we'll get there. Social entrepreneurship, in my understanding, is to solve a societal problem using business. So using entrepreneurship. So it's purely looking at where there's a lack in our spaces, in our communities, and saying, let me find a solution, and also being able then to be profitable in running that solution. I mean, of course, we do have social entrepreneurs that are not for profit, but it can be one that is both profit and also looking at the social impact, and they call it the double bottom line, where you're basically be able to generate profit through that social entrepreneurial initiative, and then secondly, you are also able to create social impact, make a good impact on the community, and see lives change through your solution. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Charlie, are you ready? Or are you still there actually?
Yes, I am. I hope you can hear me.
I think yeah, it's better. Just try with the this way and see if things will run smoothly.
Can you hear me? I'm still.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's much better. I think what's it called? This bandwidth type of thing. Ke yone gape when you have the video
Yeah.
and audio on, sometimes it causes yeah. So it's like audio e le sona, and then yeah, re bone gore e tla tsamaya. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay.
So the question, what is your understanding and definition of social entrepreneurship?
Understanding is in with both of your because I think it all nation we understand, and I think we all understand it, if I may, more or less the same way. It is already said that like understanding is, like, if I may say, the challenges and the like that are around the community. We understand our community, and we use like we use uh, to actually address those challenges and provide to our community through entrepreneurship.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Komoto, are you there?
Am
Komoto?
I still on? I'm having a very hard network.
Yo, Aisha Mukajeko, like, yeah, no.
Okay, let's
Komoto,
move forward, Lebo.
okay. So I have a couple of questions for you guys. Um, so most of these questions to Gift, because you are the most reliable person.
No, we're just really lucky. We're lucky with the connection today. Hey, no load shedding and all, and so we can at least get going. No, I'm happy.
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Something is wrong with my audio.
No, we can hear you. We can
Okay.
proceed.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you. Normals.
Hear you guys.
Hi, Komoto. Can
Okay.
you hear?
Komoto's here. Yeah, Komoto, can you hear us? Komoto, hi, can you hear you? Can you hear us? All right. I think, okay, apologies, team. Let's just see that. Okay, we've got our hosts. Oh, there
Hi,
you go.
guys.
She's back. Okay, we can go ahead.
Sorry, I don't know what
Lebo.
happened. My connection is failing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So, um, so Gift. Okay, Komoto, are you okay? Network ya go sharp. Okay, never mind. Okay. So Gift, what do you believe to be the significance of social entrepreneurship in a country? like ours.
What do I believe?
To be the significance of social entrepreneurship in a country
Okay,
like ours.
yeah, I think we all are aware that social entrepreneurship impacts the community in a positive light. Are we able to create employment if we have businesses that support the upliftment of individuals and I mean environment as well? Okay, let's just see. Can you mute for
Uh,
Khumuzo if possible?
Komodo, can you mute your sound because
Are you able to mute from your side, Lebo? Khumuzo? Okay. All right, thanks. So yeah, as I was saying, it's very critical because with entrepreneurship, we're able to support government initiatives to deliver services to the people, because through those businesses there can be sort of partnerships that can come together, and then you're able to see people get employed and get the right opportunities for advancement, and that's a key area. We're sitting on about 66%. Lebo, are you able to mute Charlie as well? Okay. Yeah, we're able to see people, get employed, and it's better for production. Businesses start making money because now the economy is moving. There's transition into that, and I mean, from the context of where we are now with increased interest rates and so forth, it's actually going to provide relief to really support businesses and provide sort of funding for them to grow, because they're helping towards alleviating the challenge of unemployment, recessionary pressure, around. So definitely, yeah, social entrepreneurship is a key aspect in the context of where we find ourselves in South Africa.
okay, I keep if I should put them back in because audio and young frustrator. Let me just hear if I should just put them through. But then if I can't, I'm just gonna run down all the questions I have and post them to you if that's okay with you.
No, we good. I think the thing is we live, so we have people, we have delegates, so we just go with what we have,
Yeah.
and then I mean, it can be a short session. I'm happy that we have a short session. Then it can be some continuation in the future. But since we have guests online, we just roll with
Mhm.
it. We just keep rolling as we go. Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, are you audible to answer the
Yeah, I'm
question?
here. Yes, I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys can hear.
Yes, we can hear you briefly. Oh well, in patches.
Yes, I think maybe the problem is yours. Then
So are
I
you
don't
clear
know
to
whether
speak?
Sorry?
All right.
Okay,
Maybe we may need to move on to Komoto.
I
Oh,
can hear you.
Komodo,
Komoto.
Can
are
you
you
hear
clear
me?
to speak? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us, or is your network delayed?
My network is bad. Like I can hear bits and pieces. Like it's not connecting. Like
Okay,
I've been going around and I'm even outside now.
Okay, you
so
can
you know what? Okay, let's
maybe
just
not
we're
share
gonna
your camera,
continue with the
not share your
Mm.
session.
camera. Oh, sorry, Lebu. Maybe she doesn't need to share the
Okay.
camera and just speak. You can proceed with a question there with for Khumuto. She doesn't need to share the camera for now.
Komodo, Komodo, uncle.
Uh-uh. Yeah, now I can hear you. I
Okay,
just
can
heard
you
you're
please
gonna
just
continue with the session.
can you just give everybody who's watching a brief overview of who you are and what you do?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
we
hear you.
can. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Um, I'm Khomotsoke Ganda, and I am the founder of TKNG. I've got a company, construction company, TKNG, where I do small jobs for the municipality. Mainly, I was based in Tshwane, but now after COVID, I am in Egoroleni. But I found another passion. It includes kids. I started a foundation. It's called the After School Program Foundation. There's kids in the community where I live. It started with girls, a number of girls. I I got girls from the age of 6 and 18. What happens is I help assist them with the schoolwork. So what I do is I go to the school because it started at home, but now that I didn't have enough. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Continue.
Okay. It started at home, so I did not have enough room for to cater for all the kids. So I went to the school to talk to the principal to at least assist me with two classrooms. And what happens is from 1:30, because the school comes out at 2 o'clock. So from 2:30, sorry, until 3:30, we do academics. And from 3:30 until 5:30, we do extramural activities. And yeah, so that's what I do in a nutshell.
And then what are some of your challenges?
Okay, the challenges are teachers, number one, because I use the school's facilities, so they don't really understand why I'm there. But I've tried explaining to them, telling them that I'm not a teacher, I just assist the kids with the schoolwork. So if they've got projects, assignments, I use my resources and I help assist them. So the challenges are I'm the only person who's participating with the kids right now. So the group keeps on growing because I've got boys and girls. It started with 30 kids. Now I've got 168 kids that I'm helping assist. And I thought it was only academical, but now socially as well, because sometimes kids they don't even attend because they tell me that they don't have food at home. They're hungry, so when they get home, they can't even come and attend. And sometimes they don't even have proper techies because sometimes we do as it's soccer, it's netball, and aerobics. So that's a bit of a challenge. So at the moment, I'm going out talking to uh, different sectors, especially in the private sectors, asking them for donations, assistance, so that they can help me with the kids.
Thank you so much, Khomo. So you're doing awesome things, hey? And I believe you will get the assistance you need. So uh I am going to continue with some of the questions that I have planned. Gift, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Thanks, Lebo.
Okay, so um what are some of the challenges do you think social entrepreneurs are facing?
Okay. With social entrepreneurs at the moment,
Sorry?
um, what I've noted is difficulties in accessing funding, and this is closer to home, of course, because we in the financial services side, we have certain requirements. You know, for example, you'd need 3 years annual financial statements in order audited. You need we need a track record of how well your revenue has been for the past 3 years. Do you have collateral in place for securing funding? Maybe you're looking for an overdraft of R1 million. Do you have a bond in place worth that much, which can be put up as collateral? So you have those aspects, but I think, yeah, just a bit of red tape that we, as I spoke, earlier about, to say we need to ensure that we have better ways of ensuring that, you know, small businesses, township businesses are being afforded the opportunity to build and expand from where they are. And I think that the element of uh, businesses being informal, you need to like move them to you know, to be formalized. Hence, we have fintechs coming into the space and really you know, making an impact there, because they see the value of the unbanked market in communities, and there's money there. You know, there's money in our communities. We're seeing malls come up in townships. We're seeing a lot of expenditure that's gone into the township. So, but I think going to that, you know, your question, it's accessing funding, one, then also creating a sustainable you know, social entrepreneurship venture. I think we're talking social entrepreneurship. So how do you create a sustainable social entrepreneurship business? In as much as we're looking at social impact, but you have to be profitable. You know, they say on average it takes 3 years before a business moves from break-even level to starting to make a profit. So how are these businesses sustaining those 3 years and ultimately seeing a turnaround in the third year going forward? Turning the profit while still making a positive impact. You know, when you do, you know, the social, you address the social impact of empowering the youth or empowering the community, but are you making a profit, and how sustainable is it? How do we create revenue streams that will support the core form of income that you're getting? And if it's issues like of getting donations and so forth, how sustainable is that model? You know, so those are the challenges that, you know, a social entrepreneur would then face. And then you're actually competing with larger enterprises. So they, with that, the level of competition that's there, sometimes as a small business, you put in a tight spot, and you have to find, very creative ways to actually differentiate yourself from the market, and then be able to capture part of the market. Case in point, we had Capitec move into the industry, which was dominated by the big four, and then they had to find ways of getting into it. They had to simplify their products. They had to make them affordable. They had to be transparent in their fees, those kind of aspects. So even as a social entrepreneur, you need to look at what your competitors are doing and how well you can do, how you can improve on your business model so that you can remain competitive and be sustainable in the long term.
Thank you so much, Gift. And as you're speaking here, I'm thinking to myself, ne, Jaga, I want to start my own thing here. And what I've like ever ever since I've tried starting this whole consultancy thing, people can't even afford to pay your consultation fee. And then you just get frustrated, and people will be saying to you, no, tlamehile o start-a mahala. Ke start-a mahala yang ke sa kgone go ya meeting-ing ke sena tšhelete. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking,
No, fair enough.
yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, business, it's too much. It's heavy. I don't know if I will ever get it right, but get la bon,
No, we're on the right
And
track with
then
such platforms. I think you're putting the word out and into the universe of actually building a business. And I mean, I think, as I said, advertising from spaces like this, as one builds in this way, you are able to partner with the right people to build. So definitely, it's possible to grow. Just hang in there, and yeah, a business. The challenge is resilience, persevering through the droughts, the tough times. You can't start a business say now and then in 6 months think that it will just boom. There's a lot of effort, there's a lot of groundwork, and it will be resilience through and through. You may have the knowledge in certain areas, but do you have the heart to keep at it when things are not working out, and it may take over a year, 2 years, 3 years? Can you stick it out? So that's what I've sort of picked up from my experience in steelworks and working with other businesses that we assist. Yeah, portfolios. Can you just
You'll
mute Umuzo? Can you mute on your side? Okay, great. That's my response.
okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue. So you did mention sustainability. So which programs aimed at social entrepreneurship do you feel will most be beneficial to them?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, sure. There's a social entrepreneurship course with the Gordon Institute of Business Science, which would be a good program that just sort of comes to mind. You can get into that. But I mean, as I say, entrepreneurship is not just, I mean, it will be a just knowledge that will support what you're doing. It goes way beyond just formal education to actually get into the entrepreneurial space, social entrepreneur, and build from there. It just takes one's approach, one's personality, one's drive towards running a business. It goes way beyond programs, but how we can support them, we can have uh, digital literacy initiatives that are give guidance to emerging entrepreneurs, or even beyond digital literacy, learning about money management as a business, how to be sustainable in the long term, how to build your business model. It really starts with educating people more to support what they've initiated. They had this great idea and it's solid, but how is there support from, firstly, also a capital perspective to actually have them build this business, and also from an education perspective to say, how is your bottom line? Are you gaining traction in your sales? Are you pricing a bit higher than the average market, and then hence you're not seeing any growth? So those things have to then be addressed. So it's education, uh, support from a perspective, and I think those are the ones that really stand out uh, to build, to support social entrepreneurs.
Khomuto, can you hear us?
No, I can hear you
Okay, so
now, but I
you
couldn't
can
hear
hear me now.
Baba's gift saying.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
So
can proceed. I think, yeah, she can proceed.
yeah, did you hear the question?
Please repeat it for.
No,
What programs do you know of that can actually help out social entrepreneurs? I think her network is delayed.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go
So okay,
ahead. Oh,
okay. Let me just put her off a bit. And okay, we'll just have to continue, because people are watching. You know what I mean? Okay.
yes,
So
let's see it through.
okay. In your view, what is the significance of skills development for emerging social entrepreneurs and why?
Okay, skills development is quite significant. It's very important to be knowledgeable about the space you're in. So, I mean, there's. I think we highlighted some. We had a discussion about, is it important for now you go and study and do a honors in a new venture creation, or do a master's in new venture creation, and that will make you this really strong entrepreneur. I think it's part of equipping yourself, but it goes beyond the formal education. In my view, you have to really apply yourself. It's more, in a practical sense. There's a lot of things that you have to implement to be sustainable. It goes with the person's ability, person's drive, person's passion to see things through. Then that part of the educational part comes in. As I said to you, you have matriculants. People who just matriculated are now multi-millionaire business owners, multi-billionaire business owners. It's such a fascinating thing that I picked up, from my readings and stuff, to say, wow, these people are not, they don't have honors or or whatever masters, and not discounting the importance of education. It's very important to educate yourself to really thrive. But I'm not saying that is the primary catalyst to excel in entrepreneurship. Though, I mean, there's another flip side of it. You may be getting into a work environment, get exposure in a specialization, whether you are an IT specialist and so forth, or a platforms creator or designer. And with that, you have a great skill, which can be translated into your own consulting business. So definitely, that's equipping you then to run your own business. So there are two ways to it. You can gain the skill in corporate in that space, and then apply yourself later, which is really ideal in the space in the what's it in the space that we are in now. Post millennials, looking at millennials and the stages that have come, we see now there's a growth in individuals, youngsters starting their own businesses. Gone are the days where you actually purely looking at working within a company and work towards retirement and so forth. There's also a route that one can say, let me gain a proper skill, let me do coding, and be strong in this coding to a point where I generate revenue for myself by my trick. I'm starting to earn money from the coding things that I do. So that is in essence a business that you then establish in an individual basis. So yes, I think in that context, skills will be important depending on the kind of skill and the niche market. But I think from a formal education perspective, it's not extremely, I think it's not primary to say I need this kind of qualification that will make me a great entrepreneur, unless it's like me having the skill and I say, okay, to enhance the skill set, I'm going to do this particular qualification to take me further, to consult. So it's an interesting question. There's a lot. I think even our guests here are free to share their views here on the chat. And thank you to Dr. King Costa, who's just shared his views here. We've got and Ntlanhla Mphosula from Ecolabs Africa, who's also joining in the discussion together with the Ecolabs team. We thank Mashudu, we thank other individuals that are actually coming through here. So yeah, that's basically how I see it. Skills and development is key, but really look at it in all these contexts from a social entrepreneurship perspective.
Yeah, I feel like I've still got a long way to go. Hey, like with all the insights that you're giving me, I'm just like, I have to go back to the drawing board. But it's actually for me, it's actually challenging and fun. It's actually pushing me to actually want to do more, learn more, and actually tap into who I am, what am I passionate about, and how can I apply my skills that I like. Some people naturally have certain skills, but they need to
Mm,
enhance them. So I'm trying to figure out what are my natural given skills that I can
mm,
actually apply and enhance and make this whole thing happen. Um, so
yes.
let's continue with the next question. Talking of entrepreneurship, what is the township economy and how vital is the township economy to SA's recovery?
Yeah, the township economy is critical. As I've stated earlier, there's really immense growth that we are seeing in the township market. At first, it seemed like it was neglected by the banks, but now there's obviously scope to get into that area. There's good purchasing power in the area, as I was saying, where you see malls coming up over the years, great expenditure in certain stores. I think you remember we have our discussion around the expenditure in certain stores, shoe stores doing better than your bookstores, so there's those kind of things that you look at, those trends in the communities that you see, and then you leverage from, or you apply yourself as a business to say, this is how I'm going to target my clients. But yeah, the township economy is key. Think of the township Township Entrepreneurs Alliance that also was formulated by one of the gentlemen from Tembisa. He's also, really pushing that, and it shows that there's scope for further growth. And I talked about fintechs, how fintechs are going into that space, and you get the banks acquiring fintechs, through acquisitions and all, to say, I want to target that market in the township. I'm not as agile enough, maybe to secure that market, but with through a fintech, I'm able to actually get into that space more effectively and see value. So in that context, definitely you can now see the trend of growth because of that, and really looking to formalize these businesses, these unbanked businesses, the informal, the lady on the street selling fruits and vegetables and so forth. I'm really looking to support them, because that fraction that they are putting in day to day contributes to the economy in a bigger scale, given the demographics that we have in our country. So yes, there's value there.
Because with also having this businesses the chat webinar, ne, I had also had a vision of, if I can put together entrepreneurs, different entrepreneurs with whatever that they are doing, that we can work together, so to circulate the money, and work together. I feel like that's we can grow the economy like that, because I feel like okay, there's also this thing ya gore, because some people feel that black entrepreneurs, they baleka, and therefore they don't take their business seriously, and therefore nka se ba support, and rather ke ye ko upmarket business, you know what I mean? So like,
Yes.
what do you
Yes.
think we can do better to actually try and be like, give this person a chance, they are trying, you don't always get it right.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good point that you make, that we will tend to say, we'll get a certain kind of service in a certain upmarket community than in the township community. So to address that, I think the level of, I don't know, from our perspective as consumers, but our hope is that we'll have a business that is, prides itself in excellence, prides itself in excellent service and professionalism. And you have guys, I mean, on social medias and platforms, there's a gentleman I saw was selling, he's a graduate, but never got an opportunity to get into the workspaces, started his own business, sandwich business, highly professional, well dressed, being there in the communities, being in taxi ranks and selling. But you look at the picture of how this person has put together that business. So that level of professionalism and the context of where this person started the business, it warrants us to then be there to support those kind of business, because you can see that there's a vision, and there's practicality to start with what you have. It's very critical to start with what you have. But I agree with you. We need to work on supporting our businesses. But for us to support, we're also expecting a certain level of standard of service. There has to be some standard of service that you can actually say yes. It can't be saying, yeah, I want to support my fellow brother in the business here, or brother or sister in the business here, but the quality of the products are not there, the service is not there. There has to be that. They still have to work on that part, and then definitely see growth going forward.
And how can we motivate or encourage the youth to participate in social entrepreneurships?
It's great. It would be great for youth to get into social entrepreneurship, because they are able to firstly deal with the issue of unemployment. I mean, as an individual, say I'm a youth, I don't have a job. One way would to just start a business. I create an employment, I create a business for myself, which will then employ others. So it's critical to just continually work towards a solution that will empower, communities and so forth. Yes, it starts with you, and you want to see yourself, um, thrive. But then the beauty about social entrepreneurship is that it's going to impact in a broader scale, and sustainability is there if if it addresses societal problems. So I'd like to encourage them to, start small with what they have. At times you don't have the capital. We have businesses that we're aware of that didn't have the capital, but today they're speaking a different story of how they've turned things around. Let it not be about the capital issue only. Um, Work with what you have initially. Get the mentorship from the different institutions that are out there. I think there's one that came up which was really, got my attention, and I wanted to have a closer look. Ebonuko Foundation, which really is looking at empowering the youth through education. It's mentoring, bursaries, donations, expos, and so forth. I mean, Ecolabs is doing, providing quality, infrastructure development. We've got a math center in South Africa, improving math, science, and technology. So, those that the youngsters can actually sit down, brainstorm, and run with those ideas, and really be active citizens, and move away from being idle, because that element of, when you start being idle, then you get influenced to do certain things, and maybe now you're starting to see the trend towards drug abuse, alcohol abuse, and so forth. So we want to really see transition, and encourage them, run workshops like this, or seminars like this, create platforms where we all meet, and to guide youngsters that want to get into business, and then give guidance, financial management, how you manage your finances, how health of the business lies in the finances. So if your finances are not right, then you can't grow as a business. So there has to be scrutiny there. So we have to continually speak those aspects. How are you automating your business to make it easier? Revenue leakages put aside, but generating more revenue from automating, no longer manual processes, but automation, and it's making you money. It's saving you way more costs. So those kind of discussions need to be held with our youngsters, entrepreneurs, and so forth. I'm saying youngsters. I'm a youngster myself, but young at heart. But yeah, that's the situation. We just need to keep doing it and helping, and contributing, educating, and supporting them.
What social problems have you identified and how are you responding to them in your community?
Social problems. There's various aspects. I think we touched on the issue around unemployment. I mean, 66% youth unemployment at this point. That's just the big one. Use of, the issues around drug and alcohol abuse. Those, I mean, this is stuff that people, we all know about. So it's issues of creating community centers for, maybe you want boiler makers to be trained. Want to see more of community centers. Speaking to a lady in one of the communities to say, there's an open field here, but couldn't we build a skills development center for our youngsters to learn how to be artisans? They can learn welding, they can do spray painting, they do all those things. And the beauty of that, you are being equipped with a skill that you can use in a personal capacity. So whether you're working in a company, you get paid properly as an engineer in that space, or you able to actually do private jobs, because you have the skill. So we want people to really move towards having a skill set that they can sell out there in the market.
Okay, Khumuzo is back. She says her network is much better. So do you want to add something onto the conversation you've
Oh
been having?
yes. Yeah, I've been listening finally. Okay. The thing is, I had a meeting with the counselor yesterday, And the irony, I think day before yesterday. So the irony of it, he asked me would we, how would I help assist the youth in my community? Because now I'm dealing with kids in primary school and high school that are actually in school. So what about the youth that are unemployed? And so it got me thinking that if, let's say for instance, I would get the database of the youth, sit down with them, and have a conversation with them. Because sometimes we would say that no, let's put up skills setting programs, but only to find that maybe let's say in my community, in my ward, we've got engineers, or we've got IT students. But whereas if we engage with the youth themselves and find out what they want, because at the end of the day, yes, we will put a skills development center only to find that this very same youth is not even interested. So you end up getting those facilities end up getting dormant. So in order for us to actually close that gap, we would uh, I would engage with them and ask them, what would you like? What would you like to see happen? Because sometimes they do know what they want. They've got the passion. Everything is there. The drive and everything is there. But now, how do they get out? How do they get information? That's another issue. You see? So if, let's say, for instance, I would tell them that okay, register your own company. In my case, register your own company. So we would get or register NPOs, because you'd get sometimes people, kids. There's a market in the kids. Where I am right now in the social development sector, there is a market where teachers, assistant teachers are needed, coaches are needed. But now, a person who's good in netball, maybe that's one of the parents, they did well in netball and they can coach now, but due to the fact they can't take that passion and turn it into how it makes them money. So we would get the social development to come and help them register NPOs and other entities to show them how to actually apply for funding. And because everything, like, one of the one of the problems that I've seen is that people, the moment you start talking to people, especially the youth, they want a job. They don't have the skill set to create their own jobs. So if we would find out what they like, what inspires them, what keeps them going, and then we work around that in different communities. So yeah.
Nice.
I
Nice.
agree. Agreed.
Finally, wa kgona go go utlwa. Uwe.
I'm standing at the
Uh,
parking lot.
all right. So,
Yeah.
we are about to close, but then I have another question. I think it's the second last question. Um, give us examples of township entrepreneurs that inspire you and give you hope.
You want to take that one, Khomotso?
Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, I've seen two. One is these young guys. They collect techies. They've got like a techie stand where they wash your techies. Because honestly, if you are like me on the road, you don't have time for such. But now, let's say for instance, you drop off your techies, you get there, it's a shoe wash shop, and then they look after your techies. Later on, you collect your techies. I think that would grow because people, um, especially like nowadays, like they don't have time. Honestly, like we don't have time to wash your tickets to, especially here in the township. You wash them, you put them on the roof. When you come back, your tickets are gone. So, but now if I know that I'm dropping off my tickets here, it's their responsibility. So they look after my shoes, they look after my tickets. Now that's one. And two, as young guys, uh, having like those small chicken, okay, they call it chicken dust here. So again, the convenience, if they're making the chickens on the streets and they're frying them, and then the convenience of me when I come to work, one, load shedding. If there's load shedding at 6 o'clock, meaning I'm not gonna eat. But now if these guys are there and I can order in time, I can actually get food. I can actually get my meat there. You see, so it's there. It's just that they need platforms and they need polishing, more information so that it can be so that they can access the information so that they can make the business actually grow. You see, even with the one that I'm doing, there is a market. So we just need to inform people of how to actually get there. And sometimes you get that people, they can't read or write, or they cannot really understand. But now, if you use their mother tongue and explain to them things that no, this is how we do it. This is how you do it. This is where you go. You know. So I think that actually can help.
Thank you.
Okay. And my side, Lebu, I spoke about Ecolabs Africa, which recently launched their first ICT center. So that's one, closer to home that I must say has done well in improving the quality of education through infrastructure development. I think we talk digitization and stuff on a big scale. So if we are able to see them come up with e-robotics labs, smart classrooms, and so forth, then really we're seeing our youth transition into that. And I think, Khomotso will agree that it's also an issue of access. These things sound great in a broader scale, but definitely, seeing traction with one step to the next. So with Ecolabs building labs in the communities, at least now we're starting to see that digital move to digitalization for the youth specifically, and the people in adult-based education also are gaining support there. This is one that stood out for me, and then I think if I can say, I mean, having spoken to the Ibunko Foundation, because uh, close to my heart is being involved in work readiness programs where you have youngsters that are being coached, as Komuto was saying, coaching them, giving them guidance in how to be effective as entrepreneurs, to add value in the space they're in, and to really take their business model and make it sustainable, make it profitable. So I think that's an area I'm also quite passionate about. But in this context, I talk, mentorship, of businesses and individuals. So I think what one initiative is Ibunoko Foundation, and the Township Entrepreneurs Alliance also is doing quite well from Tembisa through to other areas. So in a broader scale, that's enabling that collaboration with corporates to actually support township entrepreneurs. So I think I'm speaking more on a broader scale. There are other ones, fish and chips, around the community and so forth. Guys are really doing things. Car washes are very common around spaces, but I like what Homos was saying, that there are those that are really innovative in their approach to building businesses. So yeah, we want to see them grow and support them.
Okay, so before we close, I'd like you to give some advice to aspiring entrepreneurs. And then gift. I want to put you on the spot. I want you to recite something for us.
Recite something,
Yeah.
eh?
Okay, so yeah, Komodo, you give us your parting thoughts and some advice to aspiring entrepreneurs, and then I will give it over to Gift. Okay,
Okay.
let me do this. Yeah.
Okay. So first and foremost, I personally would like, if you think you're an entrepreneur, find your passion first. Find the thing that makes you happy, that gives you peace first, even if you're not getting paid. But when you do this, if it's cooking, if it's building, find that first. Something that aligns with your character. And then once you have that, go out to seekers, because there are places, you even our cell phones, we've got information. It's just that we can't use the information that we have on our cell phones. So you go deep in what you have and ask how. Okay, I've got this. I can cook. I love cooking, but how do I turn that into profit? Where do we go? How? Like, I believe in getting up in the morning, taking a bath, and just going out. Even if you don't have a job, go to your nearest internet cafe and just have research and ask the relevant question to the relevant people. I just believe in knocking in 10 doors, one door will open. And once that one door opens, I mean, everything will be history, and you'll be a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, we lost her.
Oh, hey, just as we were rolling.
Cool. Yeah.
Finally. Yeah, if for me to respond, I think I like what she says, that it starts with you and your passion, what you're really passionate about. I think that's what is going to sustain you to keep you going even through the tough times, because running a business is a huge sacrifice on many levels. I mean, from family perspective, if you have a family, or okay, having the right balance and so forth. You need to say, um, it's really worth all my efforts to build this business, but also be able to strike that right balance, because ultimately building that business means, and building that legacy, it needs you to also be in the good space. So I think as an individual you need to have the right balance. But yeah, given the urgency of it now, there are some things that you would then sacrifice, as I would speak to you about it, and saying, if it means you are changing the whole family tree in this initiative that you're pushing, so it's probably worth all the effort that you can put in, and sacrifices along the way, to say, at the end of the day, I've built a sustainable business that will be generational. So the next generation will be empowered by what we've done, specifically from the family and the community. So yes, the sacrifices that need to be there. Advice to also find a business model that works, that is sustainable. Find a business solution that speaks to addressing a societal problem. It's nice to have demand for your efforts. Some businesses, there is a certain demand, but if you have one where there's a niche, and you know that I need to for instance have food on a day-to-day basis. So a business selling bread is quite a good one, in the sense that there's that sustainable aspect to it. Cash flow is there, you know what I mean? So those kind of things. Finding a right business model that will be sustainable, that will address a need, is critical. And I think uh, be there to attend, sessions of, as Khumutso, was talking about, uh, getting access to information, availing yourself to be on those platforms where you can find out more about running a sustainable business, ask the right questions, have a mentor that will give guidance, and yeah, you're good to go. And
Okay.
yes.
Before before you recite, there's one question I forgot to ask, ne? It's being in the corporate space, ne? What do you think the corporates can do to help the entrepreneurs?
How corporates can help is by getting to understand their business, small businesses better, using their solutions, digital solutions, to understand,
Ma,
uh, to understand their clients better, or let me say, businesses that they support. They need to understand their flow, cash flow cycles, and all that, the kind of clients that they have, and then have products that are tailored for those businesses. If you can't meet that kind of provision from a service perspective, then you can actually, as I've said, have another business, small business, that's penetrating that market well, and then work in conjunction with that to fulfill that need. So yeah, understanding the dynamics from an economic policy perspective, where we are, and seeing that there should be scope to support entrepreneurs, so that they can change things around, because in the end, the whole system is going to benefit from a productive nation, productive citizens. So being able to create employment, and loosening the barriers for obtaining funding, taking a bit of a risk to fund small businesses, and then we'll see the traction. But I know that there has to be a risk and return. So if it means that there will be losses on the banking side, then yeah, it's a concern. But how, I believe there's still scope to find mechanisms to put in place to say, if this overdraft that has been provided is not paid for in this way, then we obviously have a limit reduction program that will happen, taking away 100,000 a month on the business, on the 1 million that you own, for example. So have mechanisms that will support and the business can also mitigate any concerns that may transpire from there.
Khomotso, can you hear us? Do you want to add something?
Um, Gift has already put it in a nutshell, but yeah, like he said. But I just want to add on. I just wish our in the townships we would have uh CETAs, we would have SARS, we would have like a business hub where I know if I go to a place, if let's say for instance I want to register my company, I'd go to a place where I go there, the CIPRO, I register my company next door to the CIPRO, it's the FNB, next door to the FNB, it's the trade, what's this? The treasury. So everything would be in one place. And if I'm in the township, I can actually get access to those places. And yeah, like you've said, uh, the banks, before even we get the money, before we even get funding, we need to um make sure that our entrepreneurs are fund ready, you know, are fund ready, and they know that the money that they're getting, it has to make them profit. It's not money that I'm buying, going to go buy Porsche now, and yeah, life is good and I forget about the business, but actually teach them. Because I believe if you teach them, and once the money and everything, once they get access to the money, everything just falls into place.
Yep. Yep. Happy. Right. Lebu, you're saying we could go ahead?
Yeah, so yeah, sorry. So yeah, I'm saying you can go ahead and recite something nice for us in closing.
Great. And I think, as I said, we had one of our esteemed guests, founder of the Global Center of Academic Research, Dr. King Costa. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. So there's a piece that was written regarding the impact of research in the space. They say data is the new oil, and for you to get the data, research is critical. So here is a piece here, which I'd like to share during a graduation recently. It reads, "Today we celebrate our esteemed academics, the cold winter's day giving way to the warmth ignited by the fire of learning we witness today. With these accolades, we pray that God grant you the wisdom in your journey of purpose-driven living, instilling the GCAR mission of the highest order, global research for impact across borders, many lives transformed through groundbreaking solutions on digital platforms. Research papers and Google Scholar certifications serve as a basis upon which we stand tall. Knowledge is power. That is our foundation. A displaced nation replaced by research agents of change. From the Africanization of policy formulation to monitoring and evaluation and social transformation, GCAR continues to raise the status quo, so behold a new dawn of academic excellence unfolds through ethical leaders fully equipped to break the mold." So halala to the graduates of GCAR 2022, halala. And yes, thank you so much for everyone who has joined us. I'm hoping my host is not appearing. And now she is, and Khomotso's here. And I'd like to also share one, as a closing, just one more. It goes, "I'm vigorous in my approach. I've been waiting for this moment, taking notes. Captain of the ship, I've got to stay afloat. And now I'm close, thinking of the vision on the island, clear mind as we listen to the silence. Your life is Blessed beyond measure, we search deep for treasure, never crack, relieve the pressure when embracing this collective. Finding the momentum within the discipline of embarking on a journey like an alchemist emerging. I welcome the diversion because this route was never purposed. Slowly calculating if it's worth it. I'm earning stripes as I work through the night. Fully independent, and that's the benefit of basking in the light. So who are you going to ask for advice? First, start with the plan God has for your life. Then you'll see the changes. See it in their faces when you smile, when they smile. Because fulfilling your dreams is so profound, like, wow. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was so awesome. I enjoyed the conversation. I learned a lot. And I thank you guys for honoring my invite. And I hope I will have you guys back again with another topic to share some great insights. And King Costa, thank you for coming through. And I'll be inboxing you very soon to be part of a conversation. We will find an interesting topic for you we can get engaged on. And thanks to the viewers for joining in and listening and taking the time to be part of Businesses the Chat. So till next time, thank you. We are out.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you
much
for
for
the
the
reviews.
platform.
Oh, for the platform. Sorry, Khomotso. And just the comments, everything. Thank you so much. And the opportunity. Thanks, Lebu. And thanks, Khomotso.